What if I told you that Gon's true power is so insane, even Meruem, the king of the Chimera ants, might not walk away alive? This isn't your average power-up, this is a complete destruction switch. In Hunter x Hunter, Gon Freecss starts off as this innocent, wide-eyed kid chasing his dad's shadow. But there's one transformation, Adult Gon, that flips everything we know about him on its head. It's raw, it's terrifying, and it's full of unanswered questions. How powerful was Gon really when he made that sacrifice? Could he beat Meruem? Is Adult Gon the peak of what human Nen can do? Or was this just scratching the surface? Stick around because in this video we're diving deep into everything. Gon's darkest moment, the mechanics behind his transformation, how it stacks up to Meruem, and what it all means for the world of Nen. And trust me, by the end, you might see Gon as the scariest character in the series. How strong is Adult Gon? Everything you need to know. Let's rewind to Gon vs. Pitou. Everything up until that point paints Gon as a typical shonen protagonist. Strong, yes, but mostly driven by heart, not rage. But after Kite's death, something snapped. This wasn't just a "my friend is gone, now I fight harder" moment. Gon made a conscious, cold, terrifying deal. I don't care what happens to me, give me enough power to win. That's it. And boom, Adult Gon was born. The sacrifice that broke Nen itself. Gon's transformation wasn't just a power-up, it was a full-on Nen suicide pact. He sacrificed all his potential. He burned through every ounce of future strength. He compressed years, maybe decades, of training into a single moment. That's not how Nen works. Nen is all about aura management, boundaries, discipline. But Gon didn't care. He shattered the rules by offering everything. It's like trading your entire life savings, retirement fund, house and car, just to win one poker hand. Dangerous? Yes. Smart? Not really. Effective? Hell yeah. Even Pitou, who had just seen Meruem evolve into a literal god being, looked at Adult Gon and panicked. She didn't think. She didn't calculate. She reacted. Because Adult Gon didn't feel like a boy. He felt like a monster. Let's break down the power. Gon in his adult form was likely operating at a master level of enhancement. His physical stats, speed, strength, endurance, were jacked to the limit. Let's look at the evidence. He killed Pitou in one clean attack. Pitou, who was one of the Royal Guard. The same Royal Guard who could take attacks from characters like Netero and survive. Pitou admitted, "He's more powerful than the king, at least in this state." That's not just fear-talking. That's insight from someone who's felt Meruem's aura up close. Now let's be real. Pitou didn't know Meruem's final form after he absorbed Yupi and Poof. But even so, she wasn't some chump. Her instincts were deadly sharp. If she thought Gon was above Meruem at base, it's worth pausing. But could he beat Meruem? Here's where it gets interesting. Meruem isn't just strong, he's transcendent. After his rebirth, he was faster, smarter, and stronger than ever. Let's compare. Physical power adult. Gon's raw strength is almost unmatched. He completely pulverized Pitou. Meruem, however, took Netero's 100-type Guanyin Bodhisattva, one of the most broken abilities in the series, and kept going. Netero had to resort to the miniature Rose, a literal nuclear bomb, to stop Meruem. Winner. Slight edge to Meruem in durability. Gon wins in raw, focused destruction. Aura output. Gon's aura skyrocketed because of his contract. Meruem, especially post-absorption, was practically an aura god. He could control, refine, and manipulate Nen on a molecular level. Winner. Meruem. Experience and intelligence. Gon's adult body didn't come with an adult brain. He was stronger, but still impulsive. Meruem was a tactical genius. He learned languages in minutes and mastered Gungi, a complex strategy game, faster than anyone alive. Winner, Meruem, no contest. Nen, versatility. Gon is a pure enhancer. He puts all his Nen into one category, physical strength. Meruem evolved beyond categories. He didn't just use Nen, he redefined how it could be used, thanks to the powers of UP and Poof. Winner, Meruem, hands down. So, could Adult Gon beat Meruem? Only in one situation. If Meruem didn't know what he was up against. If Gon landed the first strike, and if it was before Meruem absorbed UP and Poof. It's a glass cannon versus a god. Gon hits harder, faster, but burns out in seconds. Meruem lasts longer, adapts quicker, and would likely win in a drawn-out fight. The problem, the cost of power. Here's the dark truth behind Gon's transformation. It wasn't a transformation, it was a death sentence. Killua says it best. Gon doesn't care about living anymore. This wasn't a Zenkai boost. It wasn't training in the hyperbolic time chamber. It was Gon giving up. Even Pitou noted, "This boy's aura is like a storm that destroys everything, even himself." Gon wasn't just trying to kill Pitou. He was trying to end it all. That level of hatred, that single-minded rage, turned him from a hopeful hero into a near villain. And the worst part? He got what he wanted. Exploring the aftermath. After the battle, Gon is broken. Not just physically. His Nen is gone. His life is hanging by a thread. Killua, who risked everything to save him, says he's not Gon anymore. Ging, Gon's father, doesn't even visit right away, because he knows what it means when a hunter goes that far. Nanika, or rather Aluka, using Nanika's power, is the only reason Gon survives. Think about that. Gon went from prodigy to empty shell in one fight, and not because he lost, but because he won too hard. That's the curse of Adult Gon. He became the strongest Nen user we've ever seen, for a moment, and paid for it with his future. Climax. The ultimate what-if. Let's imagine. Let's say Gon didn't lose his Nen permanently. Let's say he somehow recovered and trained with that form in mind. Could he control Adult Gon? Could he refine that energy? Could he become a true rival to Meruem? Not just in rage, but in strategy. Now that's a terrifying thought. Because if Gon ever found a way to harness that form without destroying himself, he wouldn't just be the strongest enhancer, he might be the most dangerous living being in the entire world. Forget Meruem, forget Netero, even the Zodiacs would be ants to him. Conclusion. Gon's transformation is one of the most powerful and tragic moments in anime history. He didn't just power up, he sacrificed everything. In that one moment, he showed us what Nen can really do when rules are thrown out the window. He became a god of destruction, but not because he wanted power, because he lost hope. And that's what makes Adult Gon so terrifying. Not the muscles, not the strength, but the fact that it was fueled by complete emotional collapse. Could he beat Meruem? Maybe. But the real question is, would there be anything left of Gon afterward? Call to action. Want to know why Meruem is actually not the final boss of Hunter x Hunter? Stay tuned for the next video.